Hey everyone, this is €2, your channel for everything around the fascinating world of €2 coins. So as the name suggests, from today onwards, this channel will bring you information about every single €2 coin released since 2002, the history of the artwork on those coins, rarity, average prices, and many other things. So this is the first video of the series, and I wanted to give some background on what to expect and, dive into one of the most interesting countries or city-states in the whole Eurozone, which is Monaco. At least when it comes to rarity and the collector value of those coins. As of the making of this video, there are around 500 different €2 coins produced since, the common European currency. So keep in mind, I'm purely talking about the amount of different motifs, not about different years and that the same motif was minted in. But, if you look at the prices for €2 coins, there's a lot of rare ones, right? Rare different kind of, mintages. So for example, the Belgian €2 coins, they already started with a 1999 date on them, although they were only kind of released in 2002. So they started minting them earlier and put the actual date on it. The one, there's some that are worth around €110 or $120, but since you can get the exact same coins if you're like me, and only want to collect the different motifs, you just get the one from, say, 2002, and they're more run-of-the-mill. They're maybe, worth €5 by now, in a brilliant uncirculated. So there's significantly cheaper versions. So, however, I think, when it comes to overall Euro coins, Monaco as a city-state is known for very, very low mintages and also known for its relative rarity, right? So you always have some coins that are harder to get and command way higher prices, right? So if you're a completionist like me and you want to own every single €2 coin ever released, Monaco is going to be the most interesting state that you need to make sure, you kind of get somehow, right? It's really easy for, getting 95% of all the coins released, but most of those that are hard to get are really, the €2 coins from Monaco. So to make sure I'll pique your interest and have some fun clickbait in the video as well, we will, of course, also look at the holy grail of €2 coins, the Grace Kelly coin from 2007. We'll tell her story. Little spoiler alert there, the chance of you randomly finding that pretty face in your wallet, right? It's exactly zero. The reason why there's so many collectors that love this coin, it's just because it's so rare. But let's kind of, get it out of the way and look at every €2 coin and start with the normal circulation coin. So this one here, you'll see at the back, it just looks like a normal €2 coin. Every single one of those should look the same. Make sure that if you buy €2 coins, it does look like this, right? And there's not something like proof or whatever on that. There's a lot of fakes around. But so the coins in Monaco actually show the monarch, or the sovereign of Monaco, right? So their monarch, the guy here, it's Renier, he passed away in 2005 from the first mintage, which in this case is 2001. Remember, they started earlier than the 2002 release, until 2004. That's what the coin looks like, right? So you have different years, but it's always going to be Renier III. He was born in 1923, ruled the city-state from 49 to 2005. So not really that much to say, other than they did not issue a €2 coin, like a regular mintage €2 coin in 2005. So you'll find the one that's like, the 2004 volume has a pretty low volume, only 15,000 of these, and they're only available in proof sets. That means if you have the 2004 one, fetches a pretty high price, around $200 or €220 or $220 at the moment. Again, if you're just going for the motive, right, just want to have Renier here, not the most interesting motive, you can get the 2001 or 2002 version for, let's say, $10-15 on eBay. It's not that rare, right? It's not that much different with Renier's son, right? So the next sovereign of Monaco. So here, from the year 2006, Albert II is the one in this picture, right? So that's Renier's son. Actually, the 2006 one has a relatively low mintage of only 11,000 proof sets. So those go for around €400 or $440. But most of the other years, you can get this one relatively cheap for a small markup. You'll get it for around €5. So nothing to write home about. Certainly not the prettiest or most glamorous Monaco coin you'll find, but for completionists, right? So I always find faces most of the time pretty boring. However, We'll get to that guy's mom in a bit, so also her face, right? That's going to be a little bit more interesting. So those are the only two regular issue coins, right? So the husband and son are out of the way. We'll talk about the lady of the house in a little bit. But I think, to make this a little bit interesting, we're going to do a little countdown, right? So there's 9 commemorative coins at the time of you making this video, which is the beginning of 2020. So we're talking about 2019. So at the time of this making, there's 9. So we'll do the top 9 today. And before we kind of dive in, I wanted to show you real quick. For every one of those Monaco coins, they pretty much come in, one of those, right? So they have like a certificate, except for one, and I'll mention that earlier. They have like this little thing that says the year and the motive as well. So make sure that if you buy those coins, some of them are just like, in normal circulation as well. If so, I will let you know. But most of those coins, ideally, you want to have them in that like beautiful red box, right? Okay, so at number 9, this is I will always kind of mention the kind of edition of those two. So we have the 2011 edition here showing Albert, the guy, you've also seen on the regular mintage coin, and his wife Charlene, right? So it's commemorating their marriage. This one is kind of, so the other proof coins as well. It has this red leather case. That's the one I just shown you. It goes for around €100 or $110. The main reason why it's relatively cheap is that the mintage for this one is pretty high. There are around 150,000 of these. It's still a very small amount compared to other countries, but it's very high when it comes to Monaco. So my theory here is that the big 2007 edition. Again, little teaser, that had a very, very low mintage and was a massive hit with collectors and appreciated in value. I think they went a little bit overboard and created too many of those, right? There's also on top of that a brilliant uncirculated or BU version of this that you can get for around €50 to $55, something like that. Won't get the certificate, but, if you just want to have this coin, you can get it at a relatively low price. Going on to number 8. We have the 2013 coin, which is themed after Monaco's 20th anniversary as a UNO member. So you'll see, the dove here. So this one's actually pretty. It shows, the dove with the olive branch and the outline of the world map. The inscription reads, if you kind of move that a little bit, 1993 admission to the UNO in French. If you want to, this one's quite interesting because there's 3 versions again. The cheapest one you can have for around $6. That's just a normal version that you could find, potentially, rarely, but you can find it in your wallet. There's also a coin card version and, again, the leather case version. That one goes for around €190 or just over $200. There's only 10,000 of the leather case version, making that already quite rare. But it probably doesn't help that they made over 1 million of the general circulation coins. So again, doesn't really help the price. So we'll move to something rarer. So the guy here shown with the sculpture is François-Joseph Bozio. He's kind of on the 2018 edition with the Nymph of Salamakis. It's his most important work and it can be seen at the Nouveau Musée National de Monaco. This coin is for his 250th birthday. It's a lot rarer than the 2 we started with, right? So there's only 16,000 of these, only in proof, so no way to find that in the wallet again. So all of them will come with the case, the certificate. It will fetch around €230 or $250. You can really see that the low mintage and the proof-only version really drive up the price here, right? So that goes above 50% higher than the last coin that we've seen. So, number 6. This one is the latest coin, so the one that was released in 2019. It's the 200th anniversary of the inthronization of Prince Honoré in 1819. So this one is currently worth around €244 or $270. Since it only really came out recently, I think it will appreciate. So we may see that in other Monaco coins as well. Take that with a grain of salt, but I think the imagery again is a bit dull, princely looking dude, but the mintage is interesting. We're talking only about 15,000 of these, which again only come in proof. So yeah, that one could appreciate a good bit over the next few years. So 5th place And now it's really getting more interesting, right? We're crossing into the €300 or $300 plus territory, right? So we have a more interesting picture on the coin as well. It's a 2017 coin, the 200th anniversary of the Princess Carabinieri. So a little fun fact here. France is officially in charge of Monaco's defense, right? But they maintain a very, very small infantry. They're depicted here in front of the castle. Their job is essentially, just to protect the sovereign, so Albert right now. And they seem to have been doing a pretty good job. No ruler of Monaco has met an untimely death. They've all kind of, lived out their days. And again, there's only 15,000 of these, all of them in proof. Wallet find factor, I would say 0. But, I like this one personally, with a nice motive. So now we're really getting into the interesting territory as well, because at 4th place we have this dude. We're talking about a value of around €330, 360 US. Interesting coin, this is the 2012 one. So the proof version you're seeing here is one of the rarest coins actually. So there's only 10,000 of these. Pretty rare. This is the third and last one that also comes in a coin card, and there's another 100,000 of them in BU, which again you can get for around $50, but that negatively impacts the overall value a little bit, because they're not as rare if you're just going for the motive, right? So what you can see here is Lucien Grimaldi in the years 1512 and 2012, and the inscription that speaks to the Monaco sovereignty. So this one's meant to depict the sovereignty and founding of Monaco as a city-state. Also not the most interesting motive, and we're coming to my favorite in a little bit. But let's look at 3rd place first. So 3rd place, talking about €340, $375. It's a 2016 coin, the foundation of Monte Carlo, 150 years ago, 150 years from 2016. The person in front here is Charles III. So Monaco is actually named after him, so Charles, right? Like Monte Carlo is named after him, sorry. You can see part of Monte Carlo in the back as well, obviously known for its quite upscale casinos of James Bond fame, and this coin can only be had in proof. Pretty small mintage again, 15,000 only, but yeah, so you see back as per the typical. Moving to the really interesting one. So we just came from the $300 territory. We're now really moving in for the really expensive ones. So if you think a €300 single €2 denomination coin is a lot, this one will really get you. So number 2, we're already talking about €1,200, around $1,320, $350. And personally, this is my favorite motive on all of those Monaco coins. So you can see there's a few reasons for that big thump. So I think that jump comes from the beautiful artwork. It's celebrating the 800 years since the building of the castle. Ironically, this has by far the lowest mintage at only 10,000, all in proof, no other version available. I really like this one. I have a bit of weakness for landscapes and interesting motives, and not like heads and tails all the time. Probably biased here, but this is personally my number 1 Monaco coin. Again, really beautiful. I'll show this a little bit in the light. However, I think if you talk about Monaco with most people, they will inevitably think about the number 1 and only, drumroll please, Grace Kelly in all her beauty. So this is the coin you've been waiting for, the 2007 coin, Grace Kelly, a whopping €2,150 as of today. That's nearly $2,400 for a single coin. The price fluctuates a lot, but it has been going up like crazy over the past 12 years since this was released, right? So again, I'll show you this as well. Make sure there's a lot of copies of this coin that would say proof or test or whatever on the back. This looks just like every other €2 coin on the back, and that is important. If you want to have the original, this is what she looks like. Don't have anyone fool you about this coin, but I think the motive really drives the demand here, right? Grace Kelly, or Princess Grace, is dear to many people. The coin doesn't only appeal to coin collectors, but there's also a lot of collectors who are simply obsessed with Grace Kelly, right? So they would like to have this as well. It's a very rare piece. It's that typical story, Hollywood star turned princess. Even Meghan Markle right now doesn't, have her own proud coin yet. And I think, the other thing that really drove this price is that from the very beginning, there are only a very select few people who attended a trade fair in 2007 who were able to purchase purchased this coin at the official price, which was 110 euro back then. So right now we're seeing around a 55x markup on the original release price. That's already a 55x markup on the face value, right? The fair had only 4,000 of those coins. The rest went straight to coin resellers. So even if you were lucky enough to be at that fair, you may have just passed on, based on price, because, well, that's a massive markup. However, if you were one of the lucky few buying one at that price, you'd now get a 20x return on investment in only a few years. I think that's not too bad. So just to mention this real quick, so for her, I've shown you those certificates early. So if you're buying this and if you're concerned about the authenticity, this one is the only Monaco coin that unfortunately does not come with an official certificate. However, again, make sure you buy it from a certified reseller. Make sure it has this back and nothing else on it. And also, it comes in the official equipment and that official red leather folder. There you have it. That's the most expensive, except for maybe some errors or misstrikes or other coins. But of all the regularly minted coins, this 2 euro coin is the most expensive. And so this is a wrap for the first video. I'll make a few more on this topic. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, leave some feedback and comments, especially, what kind of contents around the topic of 2 euro coins you'd like to see more of. Post any questions or ask in the comments as well. Hit subscribe if you want to stay up to date. Also, if you need a way to store coins, I've added some links to the equipment that I'm using for these. And thanks for watching, and see you very soon.